Welcome to Retirement Key Radio with Abe and Shelley Abish.
I cannot believe how fast this year has flown by. And I know that's such a generic thing to say, Abe, but it's the truth.
Fall is here. Really flying by. Mm-hmm.
And it has me thinking about the next year, 2020. The number one thing that comes to mind is, what am I going to do with this whole election talk and trying to escape it at times because it's overwhelming already. But it also means it's tax planning time, apparently. Mm-hmm. Morningstar's Christine Benz says that it's time to start thinking about that tax return we'll be filing next year.
You really have to make your moves to reduce your tax bill in that tax year. So if we're talking about the return we'll file in April of 2020, well, that's for the 2019 tax year. So if we're going to take any steps to try to lower our tax bill, most of them, with a few small exceptions like IRA contributions, need to happen in 2019 itself.
Abe, you're a financial professional. You're not a CPA, but you've certainly been in the game here, if you will, 17 plus years yourself, personally helping people with retirement. That tax conversations come up all the time. So you have insight here. What do our listeners need to do right now that might lower that tax liability next April?
Right. Well, the lady's right. You know, you want to always reduce your taxable burden as much as possible each calendar year. But I want our listeners to think even bigger than that. And our clients think bigger than that in terms of, how will taxes impact my retirement 5 years from now, 10, 20 years from now, if I'm investing certain ways and putting funds away certain ways, right?
Okay.
In other words, if you had all of your money in a pre-taxed 401k, which a lot of Americans do, most Americans have almost all of their pre-tax dollars in 401ks and IRAs. Well, if taxes go up on you down the road, you're going to probably be paying more tax down the road at that time than today. Well, one of our most recent radio listeners has come in a couple times to the office. They're in Alexandria. They're in their late 50s, just about to retire. And they believe, like we do, that federal income taxes are probably going to go up. The current tax code is scheduled to stay in force through 2025, I believe, and then scheduled to revert back to the old tax plan. Well, they believe taxes are going to go up or be higher down the road. So do we.
In fact, you've been saying for a while that taxes are pretty much on sale in this environment.
Right. We believe so. We believe the taxes you're paying now are very fair. I mean, most people are in the 12, 22, and 24% brackets. And then if you're a higher income earning individual or family, maybe in the 32% bracket. But man, you're still keeping 70 to 80 cents on every dollar that you make. In my opinion, that's a good deal compared to what you could be paying down the road. Well, this couple from Alexandria, they're in their late 50s with a few $1 million saved. They believe the same thing, and they are strategically trying to get as much money every year into Roth IRAs to further insulate themselves from higher taxes down the road.
Okay.
So they came in specifically to get it right. In other words, for us to look at everything they've done, look at what income they have coming in. They have some pension income, some working income, and we have tax planning software. We're not accountants or CPAs, but we have this software that can guide people and give them a very good idea as to how much they can convert every year into a Roth to pay the taxes now, so all those funds will be free of tax down the road.
You said they had a couple $1 million saved. That's great. They've worked very hard, saved and invested. I'm sure none of that was handed to them along the way.
Right.
But it's surprising to me that they weren't on top of taxes since they're considered, air quote, wealthy.
They weren't on top of taxes, but they knew they needed to do something, which is why they came in, and that's why they wanted to pursue going forward with Roth conversions. But one thing that they also told me that they didn't have, which made them feel a lot better after coming into the office, was having an income plan, a distribution plan. Here's a couple who's done extremely well for themselves in their late 50s with close to $3 million, with a great growth plan, a great accumulation plan, but no distribution plan. In other words, no plan to get this money out every year to last them the next potentially, 40 years. They're only in their late 50s. They could easily live into their 90s. That is daunting. And they needed an income plan, a roadmap. That's exactly what we helped them with. And that's exactly why they came to their office. They felt great about it.
Every episode, we talk about things that affect your financial life when you are 55 and older. Connect to us day or night, retirementkeyradio.com. 4 out of 5 folks responding to a recent nationwide survey, unfortunately, thought that Medicare Part B which covers doctor visits and diagnostic services, is absolutely free. No secret to you, Abe, it is not. But a lot of people are confused about healthcare costs when they stop working. So when you're helping people to create this Where Do I Stand plan that we talk about, do you cover healthcare options and paying for that?
Of course we do. You have to address it. You can't leave it. You have to address it. It's one of the big things that we need to prepare for these unexpected and expected costs in retirement. It's one of the 4 big things we always talk about that can potentially erode your wealth down the road, especially long-term care. And it really makes me feel for a couple that just came in. They are in Sterling, Virginia. They're in their mid-60s. Just retired. He retired from the government, and he is helping his wife with dementia.
Oh,
she has pretty severe dementia, so much so she obviously can't drive, and so much so that, she'll say to her husband that she'll do something in the house, and then, a minute later she's walking into another room and she's not doing that. So
number one, that's tough on him. The caregiver is going through so much when that happens.
Yes. So they haven't gotten to the point yet where they actually need someone to come into the home because he's taking care of her, but it's wiping him out. It's just draining him, and they'll need care eventually. And, that will be something that unfortunately will start to tap into their assets because she doesn't have any long-term care protection. And they're in
their 60s?
They're in their 60s,
it's quite
just
expensive
retired.
to buy long-term care, especially when something's already started up.
Yeah, with a pre-existing condition like this, you won't be able to get it. So they'll have to do the best they can. But they're in Sterling, Virginia, where a lot of our clients are here in Loudoun County. And so healthcare, addressing healthcare is very important. It's something that we always do. And so for him, he's in decent health and can handle helping her right now. And so for him, we are doing something about it. And he wants to know that he's going to kind of be taken care of, that he's not going to be a burden on their children, because his wife obviously is probably going to be the first to go. He's likely to be their surviving spouse. He doesn't want to be a burden on anybody else to have to take care of him. So it's unfortunate, but sometimes things happen in our lives, directly close to us that cause us to act and take care of something. Healthcare is one of the big 4 things that could potentially erode your wealth if we have, a long-term care event. And so that was very close to him. And so they are newly working with us because of that specific reason.
Now, you started by saying that is one of the 4 things that you have to address when you sit down with someone to put together a retirement income plan. So healthcare costs one of those. What are the other 3?
Sure. The other one is taxes, which we just talked about with the other couple, is potentially higher taxes down the road. We want to pay our fair share, but not any more than we have to. The second one is major market downturns. We have to avoid and eliminate a major market loss from happening in our portfolio and retirement plans and accounts right before we retire or right into retirement. How do we do that? Well, we've got to separate monies to serve different purposes, some for growth, some for income, some at risk, some not at risk. You can't just be all in the market, right? If you're all in the market, and you better own all the ups and all the downs. The third one is inflation. Inflation can be one of those silent killers, kind of like high blood pressure and things that you don't feel. But man, 10 years pass by and all of a sudden, instead of paying $4 a gallon for milk, we're paying $6. Or instead of paying $2.50, $3 a gallon of gas, now it's $3.54. And things slowly start to creep up. And then you're like, oh yeah, 20 years ago I was paying this for that. I was paying $8 for a movie ticket and now I'm paying $12.
Yes.
So those are the 4, is major market downturns, higher taxes, inflation, and healthcare. I would add a 5th one as a bonus, and that is sequence risk, which is the risk to any retiree that as they're pulling money out of their portfolios for the first time in their lives, the market's also down at the same time.
Gotcha.
Double negative, double whammy. We have to avoid and eliminate that. And we can do that again by separating and segregating our monies to serve different purposes.
Find out more at retirementkeyradio.com. Abish Financial Services is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal or tax advice. Please consult your attorney, accountant, and or tax advisor for advice concerning your particular circumstances. Annuity guarantees rely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Any comments regarding Providing safe and secure products and guaranteed income streams, refer only to Fix Insurance products. Read your contract for restrictions, limitations, or penalties. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance products, including annuities. Offered through Abish Financial Services, Virginia Insurance License Number 127820.